compare the same things in the same way, what topic are we talking about, everybody? We are talking about proportions. Absolutely. Comparing the same things in the same way. Classic. And I mean classic definition of proportions. So let's go ahead and write that down right over here. This is a proportion word problem. This is Unit 2, proportions. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through this. Let's understand and really just, again, navigate how to do this the straightforward way, but also understand how to do this. If there's a shortcut to it, how can we do that? So with proportions, you guys just said it. Please write this down. This is the main piece of note that you're going to want to take down for proportions. So here's the main idea. For proportions, you want to compare the same things in the same way. Compare the same things in the same way. Boom. Right there, okay? Compare the same things in the same way. Let's be real, my ASVAB party people. You're enjoying this YouTube video, but why don't you join me for a free class? I host a free class once a week for 2 hours. So imagine 2 hours of free ASVAB math instruction by yours truly. We get to ask questions, grow with me, raise your score, and get the job you want. So go ahead, click the link here or in the description to sign up for free. And from there, I'll see you in the next class. But until then, let's get back to the math party. But regardless, everybody, regardless of what type of word problem you're dealing with, what's the first thing we always want to do? No worries, Whitney. Yeah, I got your question. Just shoot me a text about it, okay? Shoot me a text and I'm more than happy to help you out if I don't go over today's class. So with that said, yeah, the first thing we want to do is read the question. So right over here, the question says, hey, how many females are there? And the information says there are 20 males present. But everybody, are we looking for females or males on this question? Let me make sure everybody understands the question itself. What are we looking for? Males or females? Cool. I want to make sure that we're clear on this. We're looking for the number of females. Look at the question. Read the question starting from right above my big old head. It says, how many females are there if there are 20 males present? The 20 males being present is just extra information. They're attaching some information to that to give you a clue. But here they're saying, how many females are there? They're clearly asking for females, and so we have to write that down. Step one, what do we want? So let's write that down. It's all good. Again, Keon, this is all about being able to recognize what we're supposed to do, then get into how we're supposed to do it. So part one, what do we want? We're looking for blank females, and there are 20 males present. So I would say blank females with 20 males. So far, so good, everybody? Can we agree all together here? We're looking for the number of females. Sweet. Sounds good. Now, part two. Part two is we're going to go ahead and write down the information, collect our information, and let's see what we're supposed to do with it. Let's see what we can do with it. Give ourselves the best chance of success. Part two, what do we have? Well, the information that we have says this. At a local YMCA, there are 10 males for every 55 females. Okay, cool. So with that said, let's write that down. We have 10 males right over here. 10 males for every 55 females. So if I write that down, if I write this down, one thing I need to make sure I do is recognize, with enough practice, you'll be able to recognize this. We're comparing the same things in the same way. Here's what I mean by that. Everybody, is it true that the comparison being made has to do with males versus females in a certain setting? Hey, right on, Rashawn. So the question is again, is it true that we're comparing males to females in a certain setting? Cool. Yeah, that's what's happening. That's all you need to understand that this is a proportion question. Notice that the first sentence talks about the relationship or the ratio of males to females at a YMCA. And the question asks you, how many females if we have this many males? So again, the comparison pops up twice. We need to make sure that the comparison is happening in order. Notice how when I wrote my information down, this is a classic, simple, avoidable mistake that a lot of people end up making. Notice how it says, we're looking for the number of females that were with 20 males, and then we have 10 males with 55 females. This is not going to be listed correctly if we want to compare the same things in the same way. It starts with females, then males. Very important, not right now, but when we actually set up the proportion. So what I can do here is this. Now if you take a look, females first, males second, and you're good. Now you're good. And I'm going to go ahead and just put a big F in red for females. So here's where that matters, everybody. When we set up our proportion, what I am going to do is this. I'm going to make absolutely sure that the comparison I'm making, again, fractions are comparisons. I am making sure that I'm going to be putting females up top and males on bottom. Because over here, I'm looking for the F females. I don't know how many females that is, that are with 20 males. And I have to compare it the same way. Again, we're comparing the same things, males and females, but do it in the same way. Females up top, males on bottom. Over here, it's going to be females on top, males on bottom. So we'll have 55 females on the top, right here. And then the 10 males on the bottom. Yes or no, everybody, does that make sense when it comes to the setup? Again, compare the same things in the same way. Great, sounds good. So up next, all we got to do is solve the proportion. Everyone, what's the classic way that you've learned how to solve proportions? What's that classic way? Exactly, Lewis. Cross multiply and then do what? Cross multiply and then, and then divide. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's show you how to do it, and then I'm going to show you a really quick way to notice a convenient situation here. So F times 10, everybody, what's F times 10? Hit me quick. F times 10 is going to be 10F. And then we have 20 times 55, which we may need to take a second to go ahead and do, which I'll do right here. So 55 times 20. 5 times 0, 5 times 0. Then we'll put a 0 for the 2 here. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1 is 11. Add that all together. And we have ourselves 1100. Okay, sounds good. So with that, we have 10F equals 1100. And then the very last step, everybody, we'll divide. And we'll divide both sides by that 10. Once that's gone, everyone, 1100 divided by 10 is 110. So there were 110 females present at that moment at the YMCA. And as always, my party people, thanks for watching. You can subscribe with that button right there, and you can also see a link to a video just like this one right up there. But most importantly, if you want the program and you want to raise your score the right way, every step of the way with my support, there's that link at the bottom left. Go ahead, click that link, watch the video on how the program works, subscribe, and raise your score.